Alrighty, take 4. And I'm going for a cup of tea after this one. It's called the King of Tatters. Right. In a quiet glade, there's a quiet man. His camp is modest and built for one. He lives alone with no kin or clan, a place bereft of palace or throne. If you came for a short tale, you need to turn around, for the moon has just risen glorious and pale. If you stay, you need to make no sound. You take the offer to sit courteously. A quiet fluttering surrounds the glade. Living snowflakes litter the sky. The man smiles and points at the new shadows made. In a land by the water, a land far from here, lived a king with a life of excess. His merchant kingdom inspired wonder and fear. However, he had come from a place with much less. He'd grown up on the streets with no pity, learned how to be a leader through hard lessons. His army of mercenaries and thieves grew to own the city, though the money didn't sate his passions. He had a thirst for power. Once the city was his, an army loyal to the death at its heart. They built a mighty fleet and sailed off into the morning mists. His plan to build an empire had made a start. Whatever his name was before was lost to the wind. It never mattered to him anyway. The name Ragabad the Reaper soon became his legend. Be it ship, port or city, by the shore, if you saw his flag, you needed to pray. Years of raiding and roving for most would be for thrill alone. Ragabad, however, was a merchant at his heart. His endgame was to make a play for the throne. His prime behind him, it was time to make for port. A kingdom grew quickly, born from tactical control of trade. His authority held in place by his now seasoned fleet. His rule drew those attracted to the call of coin and blade. It wasn't long before he had a lengthy line coming to bow at his feet. Ragabad's sprawling kingdom left him wanting for naught, no shortage of lovers or wine. His stories told over of battles once fought, his tastes became refined. Clothes were now his vice of choice, every cloth material and colour under the sun. His extravagant outfits were so loud they carried their own voice. As a leader, he remained wise, ruthless, and fun. His allies enjoyed longer summers, and his enemies couldn't figure him out. His kingdom had ever-expanding borders, and traders had more wares to tout. At this point in the tale comes a poor trader, who came to trade with the material from a special loom. His cloth was brighter, stronger, lighter, made by blind workers in the light of the moon. Ragabad was intrigued by this new cloth. He thought it rare and beautiful. The trader saw an opportunity and incurred Ragabad's wrath. He tragically mistook the merchant king for a fool. Ragabad sent the ragged man from the kingdom, denied his trading rights. The salesman became desperate, and sensed he was undone, he accomplished what most couldn't and snuck into the palace at night. His secret weapon was released from a cage at his waist. A cloud of trained moths soared into the night. His lunar cloth left him move silently and fast. The guards saw nothing as the moths blocked out each light. He stole into the royal wardrobe, examining every outfit. He thought about stealing and selling a load. Then he saw Ragabad's private stash and suffered a jealous fit. The trader also loved clothes. After all, his life was ruled by fashion. He called for the return of his cloud of moths to have them destroy the wardrobe with a rage-filled passion. The moths were efficient in their task. The guards were left short of distraction. The sound of doors opening in the palace was too hard to mask, and the patrolling squad were quick to action. With barely an outfit saved, Ragabad was enraged. He wanted time to ponder the trader's fate. The ruthless king decided to have him caged. There were a number of other issues to contemplate. Firstly, the guards were put to the question, answers flogged and beaten from their lips. The beating wasn't aimed towards them, but to the others whose complacency may allow more others and clothes to be ripped. Not finished there, they were banished, stripped of possessions and lands, quickly thrown into a boat and put out to sea with reputations tarnished. Their survival would be in destiny's hands. The king had his answer. The moths were to blame. With his clothing fortune taken away, he was ready to inflict the same. However, he would use the living weapons in a different way. The moth container was removed from the trader, and he was tied to a large chandelier. Couldn't fathom why they had put him in there. Then oil was brought, and he began to feel fear. His tiny disciples were coated in some sort of salve. Then in turn, the oil was applied. The trader started calculating what sort of chance he might have to come out of this alive. He called his fluttering army to destroy the ropes that had him bound. Initially, they made good progress. Then there was a small pop sound. One of the moths hit a candle and became a beacon of hope's egress. The tiny body did not burn due to the salve. It did panic, however, and returned to its one sense of comfort. Its flame touching the others set the air ablaze. The trader writhed in agony until his body became inert. The trader of flame saw Ragabad satisfied. No one would dare cross him anytime soon. Although that thought was interrupted when the trader sighed. His last tuneful breath sent the moths to spread from room to room. Being a kingdom built close to the water, Ragabad's panic was soon understood. The fiery cloud gathered into an inferno in seconds. A surprising amount of the palace was constructed from wood. Suddenly, everyone was scurrying to escape, forsaking family and friends. The shipyards held no solace. The fire making short work of the mighty fleet, the frantic survivors turned into the fields, trampling all the crops and grazing land with their feet. The trader's hanging skull wore a gloating grin, as if his revenge were complete. A kingdom in ashes, total destruction. A nation burned, drowned, or dying on their feet. Ragabad himself escaped on his own vessel, enough supplies for him alone. He had seen his ideas were doomed to fail. Flames to his back, he sailed for the dawn. His kingdom of riches was supposed to endure, his legacy upon the earth. Its death at the flames of a single trader showed the man once called Ragabad its true worth. He would build again, but in a different way, and the task would be long and arduous. Eternal loneliness would be the price that he would pay. He would discard a name that wasn't his and seek redemption in the forests. Now set on his course, he wandered the land, eventually finding the goal of his quest, a loom of blind workers still making moonlight cloth with hard-working hands, a room in the back with another kingdom of cocoons kept in a chest. The trader had worked with nature to get by and support his people. He had lived by laws of balance and respect, carefully observed and crafted. Upon reading these, an epiphany came to the king in exile. Some amendments were soon drafted. The blind workers met in a glade, much like his, to hear the new stranger's words. They lacked leadership, and their elder was sorely missed. However, they would not shoulder the yoke of a system of lords. The stranger gave his name as name alone, with no accompanying authority or demands. There were obviously deeds for which he had to atone behind his sentiments to heal the land. They agreed to the idea, for it was a noble cause. No kingdom, but a family expanded. Forest with food for the hungry and workshops of lunar clothes. Supplies would be spread to serve the hungry, needy, and the damned. The Starlight family work hard to this day, roaming in small groups to bring nature back to the barren. You can join them if you wish. I can show you the way, if you have felt the need to help them. The man stands up and points to the forest. If you wish to do something that matters, head that direction. Find the next glade, show this cocoon, and they will give you the rest. Tell them you were sent by the King of Tatters. Some say to this day that moths seek the flame as they miss their trader master, though that's not the point of this story. Legacies aren't formed by riches or kingdoms left for some unworthy heir. Legacies worth their names are actions and consequences, born of kindness, not power or glory. The end. We got there. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking it out this long. Catch you next time. Take it easy. Bye. If you enjoyed that reading, please feel free to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.